So yesterday, Kamala Harris teased that she was going to make a massive announcement today. Take a look. So obviously the rumor mill was spinning. Everyone was wondering, what in the world is she going to announce? It's only 2026. Is she already going to announce her campaign for 2028? Is she going to announce some new podcast? Like, what is going on here? Well, you saw the clue there in that teaser, and it is the most lame announcement ever. Her social media handles for her 2024 campaign were at Kamala HQ, Kamala headquarters. Well, she is now renaming all of her social media accounts, primarily her X account, from Kamala headquarters to just headquarters. Yeah, that was the big announcement. Take a look at this.
Madam Vice President, what's going on with Kamala HQ?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. I have good news. So Kamala HQ is turning into headquarters, and it's where you can go online to get basically the latest of what's going on, and also to meet and revisit with some of our great, courageous leaders, be they elected leaders, community leaders, civic leaders, faith leaders, young leaders. I'm really excited about it. So stay engaged, and I'll see you out there. Thank you.
But it gets even worse. When you actually take a look at the profile, they complain Elon wouldn't give us at headquarters, and you'll see that the actual user handle is at headquarters _67. So they are obviously trying to appeal to the youth. It's no secret that the youth went for President Trump, especially young men. And so this is what Kamala Harris apparently learned from her last campaign, and she's trying to, fix the mistakes as she heads into 2028. Obviously, this is cringe. Obviously, this is just pandering. Usually you pander to minority groups, but apparently she's pandering towards Generation Z. And it is so awful that even CNN was making fun of it on live television.
By the way, the handle they're using, you can see there, we're zooming in on it, at headquarters _67. 67, as the kids used to say. Well, used to say a lot of things. And I think they also used to say, that's probably cringe.
Ooh, if CNN is insinuating that you're cringe, you know you've jumped the shark. Look, anyone who's been in high school and survived to see better days as an adult knows that kids hate being pandered to. They want to be talked to and treated like actual adults. And it's not just teenagers in high school. There comes a point during childhood development where you don't want to be treated like a baby, especially, if there are multiple siblings, right? As an older child, I know that, at some point I didn't want to be treated like my younger brother. Oh, I'm not a baby anymore. Oh, that TV show's for babies. I wanted to sit at the big kids table. I wanted to be a big boy. And so that's what this is. This is pandering, and kids will be able to smell through this. They're clearly trying to pander to this group so that when they turn 18 and can vote in 2028, hopefully they'll vote for Kamala Harris. But come on, using 6'7" just shows how out of touch she is. Again, it comes down to kids, they have their own slang, their own jargon, but once adults are aware of it, the kids, the youth have moved on. So once everyone, and especially someone Kamala Harris's age, knows what 6'7" even means, if it does actually even mean anything, the kids don't care anymore. It's old, it's cliche, it's trite, it no longer resonates. So that just shows how behind and how awful her team is, the Democrat Party is, when it comes to outreach online. So this account is now live, and they attempted to attack President Trump today. Take a look at this latest post. Trump confused popular weight loss drugs known as GL P ones. Now, if you're just looking at that, you would think that, oh, President Trump had a Joe Biden moment. Maybe he lost his mind. He didn't know what he was talking about. He just forgot. He's senile. That's the implication they're going with. But when you actually watch the clip, it's clear that President Trump was just putting the emphasis on the syllables to make his point. Yeah.
You will see dramatic reductions in the cost of popular weight loss drugs known as GLP-1s. GLP-1s. Novo Nordisk will be slashing the price, as an example, of Ozempic from more than $1,000 to $199, and the price of Wegovy from more than $1,300 to $199. Nobody can even believe it. A 578% difference.
Yeah, clearly President Trump never lost his train of thought. He was just clearly using dramatic timing as part of his presentation. It's not like he's Joe Biden who would stumble over words, lose his train of thought, come in somewhere else, bring in some random thought that had nothing to do with the preceding thought. No, that's not what happened at all. So for this new headquarters account to supposedly be a resource, a repository of facts and information, no, it's just another page for fake news. Well, speaking of fake news, the Washington Post, they have had massive layoffs, and today the laid off employees, or should I say former employees, staged a protest outside of Washington Post.
We do. Who makes the post?
We do.
Who makes the post?
We do.
Who makes the post?
We do.
Welcome, Ben Brash.
I hate to break it to y'all, but you guys no longer make the post. That is the definition of being laid off. And they're trying to blame the right. They're trying to blame President Trump. Look, Jeff Bezos bought the Post, and even though he has that much money, if you're losing $100 million a year, there's no excuse for that, right? And so he pumped all this money into it. They kept losing money. They didn't turn around. I mean, just think, this is how bad the Post is. Forget about the political bias. Obviously, that's a huge issue. You're alienating half the country, right? That's part of your consumer base, and it's just a bad business decision to say, hey, we don't want the business of at least 150 million Americans. But this week is Super Bowl week. It's just a few days away. But when you take a look at the sports page on the Washington Post, how much coverage for the Super Bowl? Basically zero. It wasn't even their top headline. You had to scroll down the page to have like this little blurb. Usually when you have a tentpole event as massive as the Super Bowl, and let's be honest, is there any event on TV that gets more viewership than the Super Bowl? No, it's like the number one viewed program of the entire year. So usually there's this steady drumbeat of news. Everyone tries to ride the wave. They try to ride the coattails, and the Washington Post couldn't even do that. So I think that's just a good example of how terrible the paper's been managed and run. And yet all these laid off employees, they're claiming, oh, it's because President Trump's attacking the press. It's because the right wing is out to get us. No, if you guys did a better job running your paper, if your politics weren't so biased, then maybe you guys would be doing better. But at the end of the day, we do have a free market, and guess what? Consumers get to decide. Now, look, I am sad. I do have, believe it or not, I do have a subscription to the Washington Post. I'm subscribed to a lot of news sources because I like to consume as much as I can and try to get viewpoints from everywhere. And so for such a historic and storied paper to be going through demise in real time, to me, it really is sad. And part of me hopes that there could one day be a turnaround, but I doubt it. Now look, obviously the theme of this video is going to be cringe. At first we had Kamala Harris's cringe announcement. Now we have the cringe employees protesting and pretending that they still matter at the Washington Post when they've been laid off. Well, now we're going to turn to New York City, where I have an update about Mamdani's handling of the snowstorm and the garbage. Keep in mind, it's now been 11 days.
I did a video about Mamdani not cleaning up the trash in New York, and people were like, oh, it's because of city snow, because of ice. Do you see this? This is because of nothing. Look, this is the Great Wall of New York City trash. This is now a national landmark, actually. You can't even see that there is a road on the opposite side of this. I'm about 6 feet tall. Look at this. This is my height. At the very least, I'll give it to Mamdani. They separated the recycles and the wall of trash. So you have a nice wall of recycles here and a beautiful wall of trash here. This is insane.
Apparently, instead of collecting warmth, New Yorkers are collecting trash. Now, the last cringe story of today actually has to do with MS Now. Believe it or not, they did showcase some real news. They told Chuck Schumer that most voters, most Democrat voters, support voter ID. But it was Chuck Schumer's response that was totally cringe. But before we get to that, I would like to thank the member of today's Governor's Club. It is Lizzie Tom. The Governor's Club are people who give tips and super thanks to the channel. I appreciate you, Lizzie. I think that's my first time seeing you. So welcome to the channel. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you enjoy. So they showed this poll to Chuck Schumer, and he started going into his talking points, and you can hear him fumble because he knows that his talking points are falling flat because they just gave him the fact. It is a prime example of a politician not being able to think on the spot and having to fall back on their canned lines.
Jess, there's a new Pew Research poll that 95% of Republicans, but also 71% of Democrats like this idea. So why do you not?
It's Jim Crow 2.0. And I called it Jim Crow 2.0, and the right wing went nuts all over the internet. That's because they know it's true. What they're trying to do here is the same thing that was done in the South for decades to prevent people of color from voting. For instance, if you change, you're a woman who got married and changed your last name, you won't be able to show ID and you'll be discriminated against. If you can't find a birth certificate or a proper ID, you'll be discriminated against. This is vicious and nasty. And I said to our Republican colleagues, it will not pass this.
It's actually really interesting, especially if you watch Chuck Schumer on TV a lot or see him give, these statements. Usually, and what most people with a lot of media experience do, is they look straight at the camera because that's how you make eye contact. That's how you connect with the audience when you're actually looking at the camera. But you'll notice his eyes keep looking down a little bit to your screen left. And it's almost as if he's reading these notes, maybe bullet points. I don't know if someone's holding a poster there, but if you actually go back here, he starts talking and his eyes just keep flipping back and forth. And it's like, dude, you don't even, I legit do not have any notes. This is, I brainstorm the notes and I have a mental checklist, but I believe in what I say. So I don't need to write down, hey, make sure you hit these points. And so for someone in DC to need something to reference, it just is really sad because you should be representing your people. You should have convictions. You should know what you believe. And especially if you've been parroting and repeating this stuff like a broken record, shouldn't you have your talking points memorized by now? By the way, I have rare footage from the Jim Crow era of 2022 when Joe Biden was president and he was forced to show his voter ID to vote in the midterms.
How you doing? Thank you.
Her first vote.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations. Your first name?
I'm Natalie.
Natalie Biden, now voting.
Yeah, the Biden presidency, those were dark days indeed. As always, though, all of this is just my analysis and commentary. That's what's happening in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. So which of these moments do you think was the most cringe? Kamala Harris's big announcement, the snow, the trash in New York, the protesters outside the Washington Post, or Chuck Schumer on MS Now? Let me know down in the comments below. Personally, my favorite one is the Kamala Harris announcement. They hyped it up to be so big, and yes, the clue was there, and it's obvious in retrospect, but come on, you had to announce, you had to turn it into a big deal that you were changing your social media user handle? Really? And then to use 6'7" to appeal to the youth, to hopefully get their vote 2 years from now? Oh, come on, Kamala. Run again. Please run again. If you haven't already, please be sure to leave me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.